Hello everyone, it's Enigma here. This is my first official video of me being back to YouTube, and I can't wait to finally come back to YouTube. I have made a few videos a little bit ago about just minor stuff, but now I am officially back, and my first video is talking about the Super Smash Bros. Fighters Pass, Volume 1. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass just recently wrapped up with its latest inclusion of Byleth, and we've got, an ARMS rep coming in Volume 2. I'm gonna save Volume 2 predictions for next week, but this week, I'm going to be talking about, how I feel about each of these characters, and I'm basically going to do, like, a top 5 of my favorite characters from the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass. Please keep in mind that, I love all these characters, and there's not a single character in this pass I really hate. I just feel like, I just like more other characters more. I like a lot of these characters, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like this is just like my list of just characters that, I just like a little bit to characters that I just really absolutely love. And I'm also not going to be including Piranha Plant, since Piranha Plant, come on, he was practically a base roster inclusion, if you really think about it. He only came like a month after the game launched, and he wasn't really a part of the Fighters Pass. He was just a little pre-order bonus. This is exclusively about the Fighters Pass. And I want to talk about, what my playstyle is, just so you guys can get a better understanding about, what characters you can probably expect being near the top. I'm someone that likes, more straightforward gameplay. I don't like having to, practice a character for, years on end in order to be good. I like simple characters that I can just easily pick up and play, and that's kind of my preferred playstyle. And I'm also someone that likes to main characters based on if I like the character, not necessarily about gameplay. Gameplay is, one of the last things I focus on. Something that something that makes me want to main a character is just based on if I like the character and the franchise they come from, or if I just really wanted the character in for a very long time. So you can probably guess from that who I think could probably be, the #1 spot. And, I'm also gonna say this, I'm also looking at the contents of each pack. What the fighter is, obviously, what the stage is, what the music is, what the spirits are, the Mii Fighter outfits. I'm going to be looking at all of that, and then I'm going to decide, I'm going to basically rank, each of the 5 fighters. So, yeah, let's get into it. My number 5th fighter, the one I like the least, I still like, shouldn't be a surprise. Number 5 on my list is Byleth. Now, my experience of Byleth, when it was first launched, it was it was kind of weird. It was a mix of anger, well, not anger, but, funny, laughter, but at the same time, I also thought it was a bit underwhelming myself. I just wish that they kind of ended the pass, with another third-party character, at least in my opinion. But Byleth is still a cool character, and I think it was just such a great idea for giving Byleth all these heroes relics. That way that he can be more interesting than other Fire Emblem characters, because I know there's a lot of Fire Emblem characters, but Byleth doesn't actually feel like the rest of them. He actually feels completely unique. However, Byleth, I'm just not a big fan of the playstyle. Byleth is just really slow in my opinion. I just cannot get into slow characters. If you want me to main you, you gotta be a little bit faster. And Byleth just is really slow, and I just can't stand slow characters. I need someone that was, really fast. Someone that I can use really quickly and just get in there and just attack people. But Byleth just isn't that, and I also kind of like the company crossover aspect of Smash, and that's kind of primarily why I just didn't really like Byleth. I just thought that the timing was really off, and compared to the other characters in the past, this one doesn't really support company crossover. It's a Nintendo character that, wasn't really received as well, and I just prefer third-party characters personally, but Byleth is a cool character. Now, the stage. The stage is actually pretty cool. It's Greg Monastery, and I think what they did with the stage is actually pretty cool. I like how you can go through, like, each of the different sections of the monastery, and then there's, like, cameos of, like, all of the leaders and the house leaders. I think that's really cool, and it's definitely one of the good stages of the game. It's definitely one of the better stages in this game, even though it is Fire Emblem Three Houses. However, the music, Fire Emblem music just personally isn't my thing. I personally like happy music, like outgoing music, and Fire Emblem just isn't that. So Fire Emblem music wasn't really my thing, and it's definitely the weakest selection of music out of the past for me. And, you know, as for spirits, I thought the spirits were also pretty cool, and but also pretty easy as well. I thought that the spirits were actually pretty easy. There's nothing wrong with, you know, easy spirits, but I just thought these were a bit easy, like, more on the easier side. But overall, I think Byleth was a cool character, just an underwhelming end to the pass, in my opinion, and I just don't really like the playstyle to begin with. So that's basically my opinion on Byleth. So I give Byleth a rating out of 6 out of 10. I think Byleth is a cool character, just a bit underwhelming. Now, number 4 on my list could possibly cause some controversy, but just listen to my complaints, and I think you guys will understand a bit why this character is number 4. Number 4 on my list is Hero. Now, when Hero was first revealed, I was pretty stoked. What they did with a Dragon Quest rep seemed really, really, really cool, and I just could not wait for his release. Just having all these spells just sounded really fun with all these random effects, and I couldn't wait for Hero to release just because of that. But that's also my problem with Hero. As I said before, I kind of like characters that are easy to pick up and play and just simple, and Hero just isn't that. I've tried out Hero for like each month until Banjo released, and ever since then I just could not get into the character. I just felt like I just could not do good with Hero. I mean, look at the Hero gameplay I've been doing. As you can tell, I'm not really the best with Hero. I only was playing Hero in that match just for gameplay for this video, but I was not good with Hero, and I was kind of sucking. Hero, I think Hero's a cool concept, but I just don't think that Hero is for me. I like characters that, you know, I'm also not a fan of, like, RNG-based characters. I prefer, like, characters that, you know, are kind of a bit fair, and Hero, you know, some may argue that he isn't unfair, but I feel like he'd be unfair for other people, especially people that are going up against Hero. But I just think Hero is a cool character, just not the playstyle for me, basically. But I think Hero is cool and definitely deserving. I mean, Dragon Quest is such a legendary franchise, popular in Japan. It did deserve a spot. I just didn't really like Hero in Smash. But the stage, Yggdrasil's Altar, is pretty alright. You know, it's not really as memorable as the other stages, at least in my opinion, but I think it's an alright stage. Going through the world of Erdrea is just really cool, and I just really love what they did with Hero, and I think, with Yggdrasil's Altar, and I think it's a really cool stage. As for the music, on the other hand, it's basically Final Fantasy all over again. Now, some people say, well, there's like 10 tracks, but the thing is that there's like 2 tracks per Dragon Quest game that is represented with the heroes. Like, there's 2 songs from 3, 2 songs from 4, 2 songs from 8, and 2 songs from 11. And there's also no remixes. At least I haven't seen any remixes. So the Dragon Quest music is a bit on the underwhelming side. I still like the soundtrack. It's a really great song. Like, there's a lot of great songs in the Dragon Quest series, but I just feel like, you know, they should have at least had a remix. I just feel like they could have at least had that, but unfortunately they didn't, and that's a bit on the underwhelming side for me. I still like I said, I still like the Dragon Quest music. It just isn't, like, what I was hoping for, basically. And then we get into, the spirits. I actually thought the spirits were a bit challenging, especially the hero's comrade spirit. It took me a long time for me to beat that one. Thankfully I did, but still, the Dragon Quest spirits, I think were the hardest out of each of these. Like, they were a bit hard for me. Overall, Hero's a cool character, but just has some underwhelming things for me, and definitely a lot of things that, you know, don't really suit me. But overall, I give the Challenger Pack a 7 out of 10. I think Hero's a cool character on concept, but just isn't, like, my thing. Now we get into the third character on my list, and the third character, like, this is the point in the list where things really start to get interesting, and all I can do is just gush about the character. And the Challenger Pack, of course. Number 3 on my list is Joker. Now, Joker was such an unexpected reveal. I did not... Like, Joker was not on my radar for a potential character. And when he was revealed at the Game Awards, I freaked out. And I wish I had my reaction, but I didn't, unfortunately. Because I just didn't really expect a character to be revealed at the Game Awards. And the Game Awards was really long, so I didn't really have a reaction. But Joker was such a surprising inclusion. And he was definitely, like, dare I say it, he is the most surprising character inclusion out of this whole Fighter's Pass. It was a really surprising inclusion, and I really liked, you know, the concept of Joker and, you know, persona representation. And I just thought that was really cool, and I couldn't wait for his release. And then when we seen him in action, I was a bit disappointed with, you know, his moveset, personally. And here's why. You know, I think Joker is cool. I mean, he's a top tier. The whole Smash community just has a thing for top tiers. But Joker, I just wish they pulled more from his home game, Persona 5. I just wish they did more with that, and they didn't. And I just wish that, you know, like, most of his moves are kind of made up for Smash, and I kind of like characters that are kind of faithful to their games, and Joker really isn't that. And unfortunately, like, characters are personally my favorite part when it comes to these Challenger Packs, and the fact that Joker was a bit underwhelming for me is a huge hit against him, but I still like Joker, and I still like, you know, he's still pretty easy for me. He definitely fits my playstyle pretty well. I just think that what they did with, you know, representing Joker, I just don't think that this was the moveset for him. I feel like they should have done more, like, stuff for him, like, in terms of moveset, but it is what it is. Anyways, the stage Mementos is such a breathtaking stage, and it's definitely one of my favorites, out of this entire pass. Like, just, you know, the look of it, the redness, the redness, but I just really like the stage. It looks really cool, and the music... The Persona music is off the charts. Last Surprise, Beneath the Mask. There's so much great Persona music, and that's not even to mention the Persona 4 and Persona 3 music that they crammed in here. I think that the music they did with Persona is just amazing, and I really love the Persona music. It's definitely, like, up there in my favorite soundtrack for the game. But then we get to spirits. Like with Hero, I thought these were also a bit challenging, especially the Phantom Thieves spirit. That was a bit challenging for me, but overall the spirits were pretty hard, but also I really like what they did and the concept they did with spirits. I think it was really cool. Overall, Hero is middle of the road for me out of this pass, but I really love Hero, and not Hero, Joker. Joker is middle of the road for me. Joker is, like, definitely, like, this is, like, the point of the list where things really start to get good, and Joker is such a great inclusion. Persona 5 music and, you know, just the whole Persona 5 just feeling of it. It's just, it definitely feels really great. But yeah, I give Joker's Challenger Pack an 8 out of 10. I think it was such a great Challenger Pack. But then we get into the number 2 spot. And in my number 2 spot, I have Terry. Terry, at first, I never thought that I would like this character. Like, I thought this would probably be a contender for my least favorite character. And I was thinking that all the way up until I saw that Sakurai presentation. what they did with SNK as a whole is astounding. 50 music tracks, tons of remixes. The spirits are just great. The character himself is really great. The stage is really great. What they did with SNK is just really just amazing. Like, this is just one huge love letter to a company that Sakurai clearly loves. And just after seeing all that, Terry instantly became a favorite of mine, and I actually ended up pocketing Terry. I'm not usually one that likes fighting game original characters in Smash, but Terry, on the other hand, I just feel is a really cool inclusion. I really like what they did with him and, you know, SNK as a whole in Smash. The stage is really great. Like, I love how, like, you can't walk off the edges, like, in other SNK games, and I just feel like that's a really great homage to just SNK as a whole. And, the music, I can't even talk about all the music because there's so freaking much. I mean, like, there's so much music from SNK, and it was like, man, like, SNK was really relaxed when it came to, like, representation in Smash, and it was such a really great inclusion. And then the spirits, I thought these were a bit easy, but I feel like this was, like, just really just well done, and I never expected liking Terry as much as I did, but I was pleasantly surprised when he instantly became a favorite of mine, and I really, really like what they did with Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, and just SNK as a whole, and it was such a great challenger pack, and it was definitely my second favorite challenger pack. But there's one more that just beats these other challenger packs, by a large margin, and I feel like this might be a bit controversial for some people, because a lot of people say this character's a bit boring, and I kind of understand that, but this character is just my favorite out of the past, and I think people are gonna expect what character I'm gonna talk about next. But my number one favorite challenger pack is Banjo and Kazooie. When they were revealed at E3, I don't even have to link my reaction. I was blown away. Banjo and Kazooie were one of my favorite, most wanted characters for Smash. And when they were revealed at E3, I freaked out. I was so happy. I couldn't believe I was actually seeing them in Smash, and it was such a dream come true. And I think that, you know, with Nintendo and Microsoft's buddy-buddy relationship, it was just a miracle to get, you know, Banjo and Kazooie back on Nintendo, and it was really such a great, monumental reveal for me. And definitely one of the most memorable Smash reveals, in my opinion. Like, the whole trailer just felt like a Nintendo family reunion, basically. And it was just such a great way to, like, play up the trailer of these two characters just coming back home. And Banjo also fits my playstyle the most out of these characters. Like, as I said, I like simple characters that are easy to pick up to play and just easy to, like, get the hang of. And Banjo definitely, you know, checks all those boxes. Banjo is an easy character to pick up and play. He's definitely the best user-friendly character out of this pass, and that's what I really love about him. I get some complaints, like some people saying he's boring and stuff, and that's just your opinion, but personally, I don't find Banjo boring. I think a lot of his kit is extremely faithful. He has some of the best animations in the entire game. Like, you know, just simple stuff like his crawling, wait, not crawling, but slow walk. Like, and then there's, like, ledge grab. Like, all of his animations are just so clean, so great, and I just think what they did with Banjo and Kazooie was just such a great homage to, you know, the Banjo-Kazooie games as a whole. And that doesn't even get into his stage. His stage is also my favorite out of the past. And I'm not even saying this as a Banjo-Kazooie fan, but the amount of attention to detail that they put into the stage with all the cameos, all the jiggy placements that they were essentially in the same places as the original game. And, you know, it was just such a great look to it. And, like, seeing Spiral Mountain in HD and seeing Mumbo Jumbo, Bottles, and Gruntilda all in HD in the Jinjos was so amazing, and I could not believe what I was seeing, and it was such a great stage. I get this, some people may get motion sickness from the spiraling stage. Personally, I just think that it's more to the charm, personally. Just the fact that the stage spirals, and the stage is literally called Spiral Mountain, is just such a neat way to make a Spiral Mountain stage really work, and really make it interesting. Like, there's not a whole lot of stages in Smash that you can say, hey, this stage spirals. And that's just such a really cool gimmick, in my opinion. I just really like that concept, and it's definitely a fun stage, and just seeing all the cameos, it really does warm my heart, and this is coming from a Banjo Kazooie fan. And the music, I know that there's not like 50 tracks like, you know, SNK, but still, the music in the Banjo-Kazooie music is just so great. The new remix from Spiral Mountain, they literally had the original composer, Grant Kirkhope, come back and, you know, have this new arrangement for Spiral Mountain, and it's such a great, like, it's so triumphant. It's like, it's so triumphant. It's like, it really makes you feel like, yeah, these two are back, and they came back to a Nintendo console. And they also got, like, the main theme, Mumbo's Mountain, Treasure Trove Cove, Gobi's Valley, Mad Monster Mansion, and that doesn't even get into the, you know, the Banjo-Kazooie original tracks, like Freeze Easy Peak, versus Klungo, versus Mr. Patch, versus Lord Wu Fact. Like, there's a lot of great music in the Banjo-Kazooie series, and it's just such a great collection of songs, and I really love it. And most of the songs are actually remixes, so that's really great. I love new remixes. I'm glad that they actually took the time to remix a lot of the old classic tunes. It was really nice to see and hear. And as for the spirits, I actually thought the Banjo-Kazooie spirits were actually the easiest out of the spirit list. But again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually like a lot of easy spirits, and I think what they did with Banjo-Kazooie is such a nice homage to, you know, these characters, and I just feel like the way that they represented these characters with these spirit battles definitely fit these characters. I really liked what they did with these spirit battles. I thought they were really clever. Overall, as you can tell, Banjo and Kazooie, they're my favorite out of the past. As for Terry, I give him a ranking of 9 out of 10, and for Banjo and Kazooie, he's an easy 10 out of 10 for me. I really love Banjo-Kazooie in this game. I think what they did with Banjo and Kazooie was just so great, and I really am glad that they're back. And I can't wait to see the future of Fighters Pass Volume 2, because I can't stress enough how excited I am for the next characters on the next pass. Well, I'm hoping for Crash and Geno primarily, but really, anyone they include, I'll be happy with, except for Fortnite guy. I do not want a Fortnite character in Smash. But anyone else, I'm fine with. But yeah, that's basically my review of each of the Fighters Pass. So, to recap, Byleth, my least favorite. I think Byleth was cool, but a bit underwhelming and a bit slow for my liking, and I just really like the company crossover aspect of Smash, and Byleth just doesn't really support that. And then Hero, which I gave a 7 out of 10. Hero is cool. I really like the concept. I think Dragon Quest was really deserving, and I respect all the people that, you know, do like Hero, but I just feel like he really doesn't fit my playstyle, and he's a bit too complicated for my liking. Joker, I gave an 8 out of 10. I think what they did with the Persona representation as a whole was really cool, but I just felt like Joker just wasn't my favorite. I just wish they took more inspiration from the Persona 5 games, but hey, what can you do? And then number 2, Terry. I think what they did with SNK as a whole was just really great. It was just such one big homage to just SNK as a whole, and I just really appreciate that. And Terry is just overall a fun character for me. And then number 1, Banjo and Kazooie, I give it perfect 10 out of 10. I just think what they did with Banjo Kazooie was just such a nice homage to the games. It was definitely a nice welcome back to Smash, and I think what, you know, they did with the stage, the music, the spirits, you know, just Banjo and Kazooie as a whole, was just so great, and I just think that, you know, I just love old characters coming back to Smash, and it's just such a really great way, what they did with Banjo and Kazooie, and I'm really glad that they're back in Smash, and they're easily my favorite out of the Fighters Pass, and they are my new mains. I love Banjo and Kazooie in this game so much. But yeah, this was a bit longer than I expected, but I just had a lot to say about these fighters, especially since I haven't really been active in a long time. It kind of made sense for a bit long video, but I'm really glad that, you know, that's over with. Next week, I'm going to be talking about Volume 2 predictions, so stay tuned. I have actually a lot of predictions for Volume 2, and stuff that I actually think is a bit reasonable to expect, and I think, you guys will enjoy that. But overall, anyways, what did you guys think? What are your favorites out of the past? Like, what is your least favorite to favorite characters out of the Fighters Pass? Let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to hear it. Anyways, this has been Enigma, and peace. See you next time.